Bears Now is presented by Manscaped. Get the brand new Lawnmower 4.0 and all of their great men grooming products at manscaped.com. Use promo code Bears20. That'll get you 20% off plus free shipping. Chicago Bears Now, proudly to be presented by Manscaped. On today's show, Bears breakout players on the defensive side of the ball for the Chicago Bears. We took a look at offense last week. Now let's take a look on the defensive side. We'll take a look at 4 players this time around. Couple of cornerbacks, and I want to start with maybe my biggest breakout player candidate on the entire team. How about Jaylon Johnson? I really liked what I saw from this kid this past year, a second-round pick, really performed well, and you Kyle Fuller truthers, which I am one of those, don't want to hear this. He actually played better than Fuller at times in coverage last year. He looked like the top corner at times, which means he's clearly the top corner heading into this year with Fuller gone. The question is, A, can he stay healthy? Had a shoulder injury that lingered from his time at Utah. And B, can he be that lockdown type? That's kind of the next step here because he's clearly a starter at this point. Can he be an elite starter? That's what I want to see. I love Jaylon Johnson. I think he's got all the tools. He's got enough size. He's got great ball skills. He can turn the football over, in my opinion, something he was able to do at Utah quite a bit. No interceptions last year, but he was close quite a bit. 15 pass breakups in 13 games. That's pretty impressive for a rookie corner who played on an island quite a bit in Chuck Pagano's scheme. I like this kid. I like the upside. I think if he stays healthy, this is going to be a number 1 corner in the NFL for a long time. And clearly, that's what you need because you look at this corner depth chart for Chicago. Desmond Trufant, I got major concerns. I'm just going to be honest. I've told you guys that. I got questions there. Duke Shelley at nickel. Maybe Kindle Vildor competes at CB2 or nickel as well. Hint, hint, we might get to him in just a second. But Jaylon Johnson specifically, I think this is a player that is ready to take off. And I think if he's healthy, he's going to have a Pro Bowl caliber season. Can Jaylon Johnson be a true CB1? Let's hear it from you guys. Type Y for yes. Type N for no. I believe he can. I've made it clear that he can. I thought this was the Bears' best draft pick last year by far. Maybe Darnell Mooney, since you got him in the 5th round. Those were both really, really good picks by Ryan Pace. Y for yes, N for no. Can Jaylon Johnson be a true CB1? Speaking of corners, Kindle Vildor, 5th-round pick last year. Hey, I thought he got valuable snaps down the stretch last year when Jaylon Johnson missed a couple of games. Obviously, Buster Screen had a concussion as well, so he got some nickel reps. Also, mostly played outside as Duke Shelley manned the slot once Screen got hurt. But Vildor's got some upside, and Sean Desai actually pointed him out during Bears rookie minicamp that, hey, Kindle Vildor proved he can play in this league, and I like him quite a bit. That tells me that they're going to give him the opportunity to compete for a starting job. He played a lot down the stretch last year, went up against some tough quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees in the playoff game, held his own in that game. I know Brees wasn't the same guy, but still I thought he competed pretty well. Had a couple of decent plays in coverage. He's a good tackler for the cornerback position. Now, his ball skills leave a decent amount to be desired. He needs to improve in that area, but it's a 5th-round pick. I mean, he's not going to be a starter overnight. I think he will have a chance to start this year potentially and has a real chance to break out if he earns a starting job. And again, I just want to reemphasize the depth chart here. After Jaylon Johnson, you got question marks, man. There's no reason why a Kindle Vildor or even like an Artie Burns coming off injury won't have a chance to show what they got during minicamp, during training camp in July, and leading up to week 1 of the season. It's going to be a competition at corner outside of Jaylon Johnson. We know he'll start. After that, it's open season. I think a guy like Kindle Vildor will have an opportunity. I think he deserves an opportunity after getting valuable reps last year and holding his own at least at a decent rate. What do you think? Will Kindle Vildor start this season? Type S for starter. Type B that he will be a backup. I think there's a good chance he starts. I think I would put it at like 40-60, but that's pretty decent for a guy who was a 5th-round pick last year. We'll have to wait and see. So S for starter or B for backup. Now, we mentioned Chicago Bears Now is presented by Manscaped, which has the best men's grooming products out there. You can get 20% off at manscaped.com by using promo code BEARS20, and I cannot recommend the brand new Lawnmower 4.0 enough to you guys. This product's been out for about 3 or 4 weeks now. I got mine a couple of weeks back, and I've been using it very, very consistently because my wife likes it when things are trimmed down below. And hey, maybe your significant other does as well, or maybe you're struggling in the online dating world because it's a little bushy downstairs. Manscaped.com. Use promo code BEARS20. Get that 20% off. You see the price difference there. You got the adjustable guards as well, which is a big bonus with the Lawnmower 4.0. Maybe you don't want to go clean shave. Maybe you want to leave a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow next to your balls. Trust me, Manscaped.com. Promo code BEARS20. I cannot tell you guys enough how much I enjoy this product. It's been a game changer for me, and my wife would agree. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. That link will be in the comments, and it will be in the description, so you guys can click and shop today. A couple more players here on the defensive side of the ball that could break out this year. Trevis Gipson, and this one's kind of my wild card here because fellow 5th-round pick next to Kindle Vildor, but basically didn't see him last year. He was inactive for 9 of the 16 games, and in the 7 games we saw him, he basically didn't step on the field. Did some special team stuff, got a couple of reps late in the season, but I'm not saying we need to see him come out and have 5 sacks this year, but he needs to at least show that he can come in and be a rotation type of piece coming off the edge and 10, 15 snaps a game, something like that, because he couldn't get on the field last year, which is a bit troubling. I have no idea what Trevis Gipson can do, if I'm being completely honest. Remember, the Bears traded back into the 5th-round pick to get him, trading a 4th-round pick for this year's draft to do so they clearly liked the value when they took him in the 5th round, but that never came to fruition last year. He couldn't get on the field, and that spoke volumes to me considering how much a guy like Robert Quinn really did struggle a year ago. Fresh slate, got a full off season. You can see where the improvements are, especially once you get into training camp and in the preseason. But I'll look at this, edge rushing unit here. Khalil Mack, Robert Quinn going to be your starters. I see opportunities. Jeremiah Tacho, he's okay. Charles Snowden, a UDFA, who I'm high on. Maybe you have to compete with him for snaps and maybe even a roster spot. I think he has to earn his place on this team first. If he does, hopefully he can at least get into the mix and get in there in some pass rushing situations. I mean, the guy had 5 tackles in 7 games last year. I don't know what he can do. I don't think the Bears know what he can do. That was a questionable pick at the time, and even more questionable after he failed to see the field last year. Big year for him, especially in his NFL future. I hope you love Chicago Bears now. Maybe it's your first time watching. If it is, hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free. We cover the latest Bears rumors, news, live shows on a weekly basis. We do mailbags as well where you guys can get your questions in and I answer them. Also, link below, youtube.com/BearsNow. Just hit that big red button right below the video. It's going to say subscribe in red letters. Just click that. It's 100% free. Never miss a video. Hear from us. All right, last guy here, and you could argue Bilal Nichols broke out last year, but I don't think it was a complete breakout because a lot of his production was in the second half of the season last year. Showed some promise last year with Eddie Goldman out. I thought that was a big deal as the big nose tackle opted out due to COVID, and it was like, oh, crap, who's going to step up? Well, Bilal Nichols, he did a pretty good job. Now, I think he kicks back out to one of those defensive end spots with Goldman back in the center, but last year of his rookie contract here, big year to prove that he can be a mainstay on this defensive line. 5 sacks last year, that's pretty solid. He did have kind of a 3/4 breakout last year, but what can he do over a 16-game sample size now that expectations are there? And I think we should have expectations for Bilal Nichols. This defensive line could be nasty. If Goldman comes back and is the same run-stopping beast that he was before, that's fantastic. Keem Hicks and Bilal Nichols right there. I like Mario Edwards Jr. quite a bit as well. I'm high on Kairos Tonga, who the Bears stole in the 7th round. You go 5-6 deep here. Angelo Blackson's a decent rotation guy also. This is a big year for Bilal Nichols because there's other options. If he doesn't play well, you can sub in Mario Edwards Jr. You can go to a guy like Angelo Blackson as well. So I'm excited to see what Nichols can do for an encore this year. We saw a mini breakout last year. Can we see a real breakout this year and see consistency over 16 games? I'm excited to find out in 2021. Now, will the Bears re-sign Bilal Nichols in 2022? Under contract through the end of the season, but then he is set for free agency. Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Will he be back with Chicago after the season? Go ahead and get your votes in on this one. Now, 4 defensive breakout players are as follows. Jaylon Johnson, Kindle Vildor, a couple of cornerbacks. Trevis Gipson, the rookie from last year, second-year player this year. We'll see what he can do. And then Bilal Nichols, who we just talked about. I think these are some names to keep an eye on, and we will see if they can break out. Maybe there's someone I'm forgetting. Maybe there's someone I'm leaving out. Or maybe it's one of these guys. Name a player on defense that you think will break out for the Bears this upcoming season. Let me know what you guys think. Which defensive player will break out for the Chicago Bears in 2021?